All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a pretty important video in all honesty for really the first two stocks especially. Both of them are in a really critical place actually, all right? So you can see TTOO is actually over the 50. You know I care about more than a single day, right? But I mean, break the 50, there's a lot of red that could really quickly take us all the way up to almost 30 cents, okay? So really important tomorrow here. With BBIG, all right, look, I definitely made some good money. I'm glad I banked as much as I did. I'm still holding on to a little bit, but again, tomorrow is the really important day. We're either gonna bounce tomorrow or there's gonna be a lot of reason to hit eject until it sets up again. So literally both are kind of on like very different sides of the spectrum, but both TTOO and BBIG must go up tomorrow, okay? The last one I want to talk about is Snap. And I'm really disappointed to see what happened. I was actually really bullish on Snap the last video I had, but I always say it. Nothing makes these colorful lines more irrelevant than good or bad earnings. You will either gap up or drop down hard, right? That's essentially the equivalent of a thumbs up or a thumbs down from the FDA or any sort of government thing too, right? So again, there's only so much technicals can do, and there's definitely a lot of outside things that can make just things go crazy, right? So we'll talk about all that and more, but really quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad, like this thing. Look, anything you can do really does help me out. For real, the biggest thing you can do is share because I suck at it. But anything and even just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So let's talk about TTOO. And hey, I've been saying this for the last few videos. I really thought the 50 moving average was going to break. I did. I thought it was going to happen here. I honestly did not get fooled out here, but it made me believe it might be coming again. And end of the day, the whole thing really is this 20 moving average. All right. There is reason to believe that tomorrow is going to be a really important day, but I'm telling you, listen to me, okay? There is no guarantee. All right, this 50 line is no joke. You can't underestimate these moving averages, all right? But today was important because it actually did break it. I am glad that it's less than a full penny, but hey, we're over the line. I don't need an extra decimal to double check. Like, that's cool to see. Where are we post market? Good, it's holding. I'll take the hold, all right? There was a couple people that started messaging me on Twitter asking, hey, if my money line was still 15. And I actually did say, and I'm going to do it here, I lowered it to basically 13 or 14. I basically said between 50% of this candle and just a little bit over it, which is where this 14 is and where I'm going to leave it. That's a good entry. And again, it's only a penny down, right? But get me over the 50 moving average. Let me believe. And hey, there might not even be, like, waiting for 15 is also not that bad, right? That puts us in this candle. That puts us right back into the rest of the gap fill. And again, 15 to a high 20, almost 30 is also a 2x, right? Like, don't get too greedy. Don't get too excited. Let the day play out and tell you what it wants to do. All right. I'm liking these last 2 days. I'm still very much respectful and fearful of the 50 until this stock tells me not. Look, I'm not covering Mullen on this, but let me just talk about Mullen. It seemed like Mullen was going to break the 20. It seemed like it was all these days, and it clearly hasn't. And again, we've seen it come close, but couldn't, right? Again, I am not comparing Mullen to TTOO, but this 50, it's been a while since we've done anything spectacular with it, right? Like, this was kind of an insignificant nothing in a lot of ways, you know? So just be respectful of the 50. let yourself believe we've broken it. And yeah, the next place we should go if we break it is this. And again, we got over the line today. Tomorrow hopefully makes me believe we've broken it, all right? And hopefully you're starting to understand the difference between those two, right? But again, these two got us over, this candle got us over 2 moving averages. This is a decent confirmation at least these two. I'm sorry if there's really loud noise in the background. The house is getting clean. So, but yeah, bouncing on the 20 is an important thing. Breaking the 50 will be even more important. I'm going to pause real quick. Sorry, I think the vacuum got a little too close. But yeah, getting over the 50, like I said, is the most important thing. Don't get too greedy. Wait for the pennies to just hit. Let you believe that this line is no longer a struggle and get out, okay? Look, we can drop back as low as 10 cents, right? If this fails, we're going to come back down to the 8 and the 20. That's basically a 20% drop, right? Every penny's 10%, right? So just you know, there is a shot that we lose 20% tomorrow, or there's a real shot that this thing might want to 2x, right? So just watch what's happening. Real quick on volume, I'm liking volume, right? Like it's not blowing up just yet, but yeah, it's getting better and better. This 50 average line is rising. We were down here at one point. We're clearly a lot higher now, right? So those are good things, right? Let's just get a little bit more of a reason to believe, and breaking that 50 will be that reason to believe, all right? So far, so good on the weekly. We actually got over the 8 here. None of these are confirmation, but this seems to be starting to do confirmation. And yeah, we're in the middle of the week. We got 2 more days that can actually make it a little bit prettier, and I'm liking it. This thing is saying maybe 27 will be a little bit hard to hit, maybe 24. You can see the 20 average right there is 24 cents. Maybe 24 cents will be the limit. But hey, again, even if you wait from 15 to 24, you're adding a dime essentially on a stock that only has 2 dimes today, right? So don't get greedy. Don't underestimate the 50 moving average, but there's a lot to like on TTOO. And one more time, I've actually been saying I think the 50 is going to break. I've actually not taken that away, that sentiment away. And yeah, today, like I said, we're over the line. Tomorrow, hopefully we break it, okay? Let's take a look at BBIG. And again, like I said, we're sitting at an important day, okay? Obviously, the last 2 days have sucked a bit. Today, we are now actually under 50% candle, right? I would say that this is kind of the 50% line. Like we're down here, right? I think we're basically arguably at 2/3 below the candle, right? So theoretically, this can actually come down to here, to 343, and still actually be bullish, all right? And roughly speaking, that's another 10% drop, but we're still over the 8 and 20. Unfortunately, we're under the 100. I didn't want that to happen. I was actually hoping the day after the doji would have been a good pop from the 100. Instead, we actually did slip it. Again, kind of the same comments from TTOO. Yes, we are physically under the 100. No, I do not believe we have lost the 100 yet, okay? So tomorrow either says we lost it and we'll probably come down at 345, or again, I think tomorrow says, hey, no, not just yet, and hopefully we come back to 410. Let's call it, that's kind of the goal, right? So regain 50% candle, regain the 100 moving average, let the 8 keep going up, and those are good things. That's a golden cross right there for sure, and it seems like it's actually still going up, so I think that's a good golden cross. My issue is kind of these lower indicators down here, okay? And I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to tell you, this was a big thing that made my decision for BBIG. High RSI pop, high RSI pop, high RSI pop, high RSI a little bit sustained drop, right? Pop, drop. I meant to say drop on all these, right? But big ups and big downs tend to be what this does, with only this minor hold that eventually actually lost itself too. So I don't know, I kind of felt like we were going to come down a little bit. I think the RSI still wants to come down just a little bit before it takes off again. But I banked a lot more than I planned to, actually. And really, I even said it earlier. I banked more of this than, you know, is this stock? I forgot. I think I'm mixing stocks. Sorry about that. But yeah, nonetheless, I've pulled a good amount of profits. I'm still holding a little bit. I will probably hit eject if tomorrow morning doesn't do a good thing. And again, kind of watch it. Overall, like I said, we're still bullish. So really, your tolerance can make you really give a good reason to just stay and hold, right? But again, we can actually drop to 340, like I said, which could be another 10% drop, and no one really wants to see that, right? But give me 410, 413, and I will probably completely change my sentiment, be really, really excited. And look how far up the 100 move, sorry, the 200 is, right? Break the 100, you'd go up here, right? So Yeah, this is not an easy line, and I think there was something on the weekly. Yeah, that's what I remember too. Look at this 20 moving average, all right? We have basically been well under it for a year, right? This is the last time we were over it, May, okay? And ever since then, we have not been under it. So far, we're above it. Again, we still have 2 days. There's no guarantee that we close over 351 by Friday, right? But this is a promising sign. That said, look, don't underestimate these lines, right? So it's going to be hard to hold this and break, but in a lot of ways, this thing's kind of saying, hey, just sit and be patient. Our RSI is still low, our MACD is still working our way up. That's a little bit of a divergence, and hey, volume's doing good, right? So again, BBIG, I understand these short-term struggles, but there's still a lot of like bullish signs, right? Like I know it sounds weird when I say I think the stock's going to go down, but I'm still bullish, right? So, use that for how you want to, right? Do you want to protect your money today, hoping you catch it tomorrow? Or are you okay taking a little bit of a loss, maybe even averaging down, averaging up, whatever you want to call it, and then riding it, right? So just some food for thoughts, okay? Let's look at Snap. Man, this is sad, okay? I was super bullish. You break all the moving, I say it all the time, break all 5 and fly, lose all 5 and die. We went from break all 5 and fly to lose all 5 and die literally in a blink of an eye, right? So this is the opposite of Tilray. This was a gap down, right? Like that's just horrible. I got to do some stuff to my Lenovo. So really, I don't have too much to say. Obviously, that looks ugly, that looks ugly, that looks ugly. But the moral of the story really here is there are things that make these colorful lines mean nothing. All right, a thumbs up and a thumbs down from the FDA is one of those. A thumbs up and a thumbs down from the market in terms of earnings is another one. Like there's just so many things, like offerings, like there are reverse splits, right? Like there are things that can happen that no set of indicators will ever let you see, right? So it's about setting good stop losses and different things like that. Unfortunately, a lot of this happened during after hours and pre-market, so it's not like a good stop loss would have actually done you anything, right? But again, it's just one of those things where we're here to give ourselves like a 52 to 48% advantage, right? Like I'm not here pretending I'm giving us like a 30%, thing, right? But dude, Steve Wynn is living the billionaire life on only a couple percent extra advantage on his side, right? So that's what we're trying to do here. So again, just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, of course, thank you.